So I'm taping the end of this video with a little bit like I look fresher, I look more rested, and because I started yesterday midnight, and I ran out of battery in my cell phone. Because I'm sorry, I'm gonna lie, I still doing that with cell phone. And I ran out of battery, so I didn't want to finish it yesterday because it's a little bit like, it's a very interesting topic actually. It's complex a little bit because not many people is aware of this. Not many people know this information. I have read about it, I have Googled about it, I have researched about this information, and it's true. So yes, the men relieve testosterone like I don't know, doing top work, like lifting weights, like approaching a woman, like having sex with women, but specifically, like honestly, it's very important to not discarding that the courting. Let me Google it. The courtship towards a woman boost big time the levels of energy of testosterone in a man, and going into like good looking or the physical appearance of the man, like having enough testosterone helps you also with not getting bald, with not losing your hair, with getting big muscles easily, or faster, growing them faster. Like it's all linked, it's all related. If you are a man, a straight man, and you don't have anything against the gay people, you are not homophobic, but however you don't want to become gay, you really need to start doing things for the woman, because if you're a selfish guy, a selfish dude that doesn't don't want to approach them because you feel like a dumb or like a fool, you don't want to, eventually you will end up doing more things for your mates, for your male friendships, for your men friends, more than for the females around you, more than for the woman, and eventually you will start growing feelings more for your mates, or your friends, guys, men, more than women, and it makes a lot of sense because let me tell you, like, we men and women, we are not different like just physically, we are differently mentally too, like psychologically, we gesture, we manage things differently, but of course that's very, I think it's obvious, right? Like if you have studied a little bit about it, or if you are smart enough, you have realized like we communicate, like we just psychologically we are different. We are also different in the way we socialize, like for example, men, the way they feel more linked to or attached to somebody, or the way they enjoy, the way you guys enjoy socializing is doing activities. I read a lot about this. Like you can make strong friendships with not even the need of talking a lot, but by making like activities together, like practicing motocross together, riding horses together, and we can see it in the soccer sport. Soccer teams, like guys, they feel like a team, and they do physical things, in recent words, lifting weights together, fixing a car, like the mechanics, the mechanic workers in their taller, like the mechanic colleagues, while they're fixing a car, they feel that companionship is more real, or it has a sense, and however, woman, the way we feel more attached, or we feel more like connected, is talking, like not necessarily doing, of course we like doing activities too, outdoors activities, sports, risky things like motocross. There are many women that do motocross sports, the things that are more oriented to the guys, but we also we mostly feel like attached while talking, like while sharing or intimacy, personal things, or for some kind of reason, like we feel more attached or close to the people when we talk. That's why there is a cliche about that we like talking a lot, and we talk a lot, when we have struggles in the marriage, for example, or in their relationship with our boyfriend, we like talking with them. we just, I don't know why. It's psychologically proven, right? And also, like, you can see it with for a big example of this is the Kardashians show, like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. If you pay attention to this family, what they do the most, all the freaking seasons, and most of the time, is talking. Like they're always talking about their dreams, their disappointments, their breakups, their past, their pass away father, their brother, their problematic brother. But most of the time they are talking. So anyways, my point with this is that, like, seriously, what you don't do for a woman, eventually you will end up doing it for men, and that's when the issue comes, when the problem starts, because you might be not realizing that little by little you can become gay. Like you can grow stronger feelings because what you are not giving to the woman, you are putting it all with your mates, with your friends, guy friends, So That makes a lot of sense. For example, the way I manage for not becoming like lesbian, because I know it's possible. Like I explained you already. Like I'm not really sure about the numbers of the percentage of how percentage of people have at some point of their life felt attraction by the same sex gender. I'm not. I mean, I'm and I apologize. I'm really sorry. I say before I mentioned like between a 90 and a 95%. Actually, I don't know. I'm gonna try to research it. This information exactly the numbers and put it here in a tag. I will try. But since I have felt that inclination towards my same gender, like the way I manage, like keeping it straight, because to be honest with you, I love, like, I do like the courtship of the men. I like men, you know. I mean, I love having female friendships. I love, like having my friendships. I love them too. My female friendships, I love them with my heart. I really, really love them. But I feel more attraction. My percentage of attraction is stronger towards the men, you know. And the way I manage, like, not becoming like more towards the gay preference or lesbian preference is because I hang out with my girlfriends, but I avoid it, like, or for example, I try to keep a balance between hanging out with my girlfriends and at the same time dating a guy, because it's just different. Like me, I mean, I have never been in a lesbian relationship. I have seen that the lesbians or bisexual woman, one of the both is normally more masculine than feminine than the other one. But however, for me, for example, I like, like dicks more than a dildo, for example. I like more the dick. So if I get into, like a lesbian or bisexual relationship, I'm gonna have any penis, it's gonna be a dildo. Yes or yes, it will have to be a dildo. I say I don't have anything against this, gay preference, and you really need to manage the things. Like, I mean, you should pay attention to this advising, like this is the way I manage. The way I manage myself, I socialize with both genders to keeping straight, because I mean, I have realized that when I open up too much with a best friend, with a girl best friend, a woman, sometimes they're really, really compressive. And also the way we like, that's also why many people become gay or lesbian, is because we manage the emotions the same way. Like, for example, women, we are very good at listening each other. So when I'm with a best friend, I feel listen. I really, and for them, it's not annoying. It's not annoying, like being listening to me or seeing me crying. They feel empathy. And on the other hand, and men, like the way their understanding ways are exactly the same. Like, I mean, they talk to understand each other too, but the way like they feel more compression or more like understanding of the other one suffering or struggling is like, okay, they listen to each other while they're doing an activity, so that way they don't feel like men, they don't feel the tension between each other. So since we are designed the same way, it's very possible, like feeling more attached to the same sex gender, because it's easier for that person understanding you or helping you, because psychologically they manage, or yeah, men with men, they handle the situations the same way, and woman with woman, they handle the situations the same way. I mean, I'm sorry for the noise. So yes, like we are designed for understanding each other a little bit more, like men with men and woman with woman. But like physically, like sexually, we are designed to feel more attracted by the opposite sex, even though that the way we socialize is a little bit different and very similar between the same sex gender. I hope you get my point, and you know what I mean. So yes, a person can involuntarily become gay if they don't know this information, like without even noticing, without knowing. You can for sure, become gay. Sorry about the noise, but I turned on my AC because these days have been very hot. We've been having heat waves here in Quebec, and yeah. So I hope you like my advisings. This is how Latin women we were raised and we think, and that's why that's why sometimes you wonder, like, why is this woman, is she so good looking and pretty and beautiful, and why she is with this fucking ugly, short or fat dude if he's horrible and I'm more handsome. And probably is because of that. Like, I mean, me personally, I prefer a man that is not, even though that for my taste, for me, in my opinion, like white men tend to be a little bit hotter than brunette guys or tan skin guys like Latinos. A white man and a Muslim Arabic man or Latino man, and the brunettes approach me but the way I like to, and they are hunting me and they're chasing me like if they were hunting an animal, like if they were hunting a deer. Of course I'm gonna prefer this kind of man. I really, really prefer more this type of man. Even if I like the white guy a lot, the white man a lot, but he doesn't give the first step, he doesn't approach me, he doesn't try to make courtship. For me, it's like really, really attracted by the masculine personality, but that doesn't just include the muscles, or that just doesn't include like just like you being just for the fact of you just being a man, like just the fact of you just being a man doesn't attract Latinas by itself. Maybe if you're a white man and like, or a good looking man, And you don't have this masculine hunter behavior of chasing women, of making courtship, approaching her, giving the first move, doing the first step, doing the first move. But you are wealthy, then okay, it changes things a little bit. Like if you are wealthy, it doesn't matter. It might not matter in maybe most of the cases if you don't approach them, if you are not chasing them, if you are not hunting them like a man is supposed to be in the Hispanic culture. But but if you are not like oh my god, like a wealthy man that will attract women just because the money, you need to manage more like approaching the woman, like giving the first step, taking the lead, be the hunter, you know, because like I repeat, like I say, if like we can see who is a giver in the nature, in the animal kingdom, and in the nature of even the sex, you know, in the sex activity, we see who is the one who's pushing in, pulling out. We see pushing in, pulling out. Is a man. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. It makes sense once you think about it, and I mean all the information I just give you and all the information I have read about it, and all this information like has kept me straight. Because yes, like it can be involuntary, but once you have the information, you can choose by yourself if you want to keep feeling attracted, if you want to keep your attraction towards women or towards men, you know. And that's it. In recent words, this is how Latin women we are. We prefer 100 times more the approaching guy, the hunter. Even if the like I say, even if the man is very good looking, a woman that is more into her feminine energy, even if the man is very good looking, she ain't gonna be chasing hunting him. You know, she ain't gonna do the hunting. Our nature it tends to be passive. You know, that's a key word, passive. Or energy, the feminine energy is passive. The man energy it's more towards the action. You know, so even if I like a man, a white guy, like it really has to be really handsome, and but also me, it's just that I feel uncomfortable like doing the first step. You know, doing the first move. I think I did it a couple times before in my life. Actually, I did it here in Canada. I think in Mexico and yeah, in other countries, I didn't have the need of doing the first move because the nature of those men were coming towards me. But here in Canada, I did the first move a couple times, and maybe in one occasion, like the men here are so insecure that maybe one of them, let's suppose he didn't like me at all physically, you know. I'm very good looking. I consider myself good looking and sexy and warm and friendly, sociable, but it can happen, you know. One he say, no, sorry, I cannot give you my number. And the other one, I think he just got too nervous. He didn't expect it. So they just cut it off immediately, the conversation, the communication. And this happened when I was just arrived in this country. When I just arrived in this country, I did those first two first steps, those moves. And of course it disappointed me, you know, because I was like, I mean, maybe one of those two occasions I was not very like makeup, or I was not very good looking. Like I wasn't looking like I'm used to dress up and makeup. But anyways, I have the guts of as a woman of doing the first steps, doing the first move of opening up the conversation, the talking. But I just don't feel comfortable, you know, because I know there are men that they lead, they have initiative. So I mean, honestly, me, I don't care. I prefer 100 times more like being with a not so good looking man, or with a Latino, with an Arabian, Muslim, even black, or one of these African African countries. As long as they approach me and they be hunters, you know, they be, I don't know how I can explain it. They approach me, they do courtship. Even if they courtship me, oh my god, that makes me crazy if they courtship me. And of course, all effort has its reward. And me, I think all Latin women, we are like very loving, we are very caring, we are tender, we are naughty in bed, the majority, at least myself. At least you're gonna be with somebody that is good in bed, or not so bad. Also like good housewives, good cookers, good mothers. So this is not just a cliche. This is not a cliche. Let me make things clear. This is real. This is truth. So well, I hope you enjoyed these videos, and also I have also now this jealousy of white women towards us. Me personally, I have felt it in the public transport. You know, a couple times. Like it's not very common, but I have noticed that they're bad staring at me like with hate, like white woman. But you know what, girls? Like I know we have this very good reputation, the Latinas as women, but however, there are also many men that they have stopped liking Latin women because of the xenophobic news. I mean, the news that promote the xenophobic because of the immigration. So, like some men or many men are stopping to like us. They are just trying to suppress that. But anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this information. It be useful for you. I mean, I know it's useful for you, and I hope you like it. And please don't hesitate subscribing. Please, you will help me a lot. Like, that's the best grateful feeling or action that you can have towards me, like subscribing, leaving your likes, your thumbs up, and sharing the video in wherever you want with your friends by WhatsApp. You can share it in your WhatsApp status in whatever other social network that you use, but please share it, okay? And let me know your thoughts about this if you knew about this information, and see you in the next time.
Mounted police force. Oh, don't like the colour. Don't like the colour. Oh, brilliant, brilliant.
Mil respetos para estos caballos.